What's going on, guys? If you follow my channel, you'll know I'm looking at the songs of Fleetwood Mac a lot this month, and particularly Lindsey Buckingham's playing and phrasing and some of his fingerstyle stuff as well. But before we dive into this too much, I want to show you some comments from the live video from the 90s of Fleetwood Mac playing The Chain live. Let me read a few of them for you. Here's the first one. Here's the deal. You either love Fleetwood Mac or you're wrong. It's not that hard to comprehend. I know everyone is revisiting Fleetwood Mac's music since the sad passing of Christine, R.I.P. But watching the way Lindsey Buckingham plays guitar is utterly unbelievable every time I see him play. The fact that this is about Stevie and Lindsey's breakup and they're still able to sing together 20 years later, phew, the power they have. Lindsey Buckingham, severely underrated guitarist, plain and simple. He played some of the most creative licks I've ever heard. Is Lindsey Buckingham overrated, or is he underrated, or is he about right? Well, Fleetwood Mac certainly get a lot of credit as a band, certainly one of my absolute favourite bands of all time. You just can't argue with the music. Too many good songs, over decades, played together for so long, they really couldn't have played live many more times. But is Lindsey Buckingham overrated? I actually think he's underrated as a guitarist because he doesn't often get mentioned by other guitar players. He gets referenced in some ways, but he's not spoken about the same way that Eric Clapton is, that Slash, that Mark Knopfler. These guys kind of are more known in guitar circles, but I don't necessarily think there's as much that a regular guitar player can learn from those people as they can from Lindsey Buckingham. There's some fantastic things that we can really look at, and I've got 3 songs to give you, and 3 songs as perfect examples if you want to put these things into practice in your playing today. My first point is that his solos and playing in general serve the song rather than hijack the song. I think all the people that I've named so far, from Slash, Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix will be included in this. Their songs are kind of almost, they're good songs and you can do them in any genre, but then they do get hijacked by guitar solos. Now, as guitar fans, of course we love that bit. Of course we love the bit that's like the huge guitar solo in a song. The end of Sweet Child of Mine, the 7-minute epics, we love them. But do they hijack, or would they hijack a Fleetwood Mac song if they were playing over it? Would a lot of Fleetwood Mac songs become 7 minutes when they're perhaps a better 3.5-minute pop song? And I think they would, and I think there's a lot more that regular guitar players of any level can learn from how Lindsey Buckingham serves a song, and a great example of that is Make Lovin Fun. So the first lead part in Make Lovin Fun that really serves the song is the chorus part. This part. And then there's a little hook at the end of that, which is this. Various ways to play it, and he does vary it, but that, over the chords of a B flat major, and then a little descending root note for that chorus, is like sprinkling gold dust over the top of this. Now, of course, Lindsey Buckingham always plays with his fingers. He doesn't play with a pick. That's not essential to get the most from this video or Lindsey Buckingham's like lead playing, because those note choices, which are really just major pentatonic, that's really superb playing. And then, of course, in the solo, it goes back to really thinking about this as a blues in the key of G minor rather than the key of B flat major, which is the chorus. This is the G minor is the relative minor, and we have this. If I put the pick down to do the rest, sounds great if you just pluck it with your first finger. And then the phrasing in this kind of big solo in the middle of the song, but it really serves the song. It's in the place of a verse, actually. Same as Sweet Child of Mine. That's over the chord progression of a verse, doing a very similar thing. And then the final solo, I've got a full tutorial for that coming, so I won't dwell too much on this song. with or without. Just a really quality mimicking that. It's like that an octave up, basically. Really cool, definitely one to learn and check out. Tutorial will be up shortly if it isn't already. So the next song we're going to look at is The Chain, the solo from The Chain, and this just shows the power of one note over licks. Now, often when people are trying to do the big part of their solo, everyone's guilty of this, from beginners learning something to total advanced players wanting to show what they can do. You know, we're all guilty of the kind of relying on some flick off some kind of doing too much, and there's a place for that. Of course there's a place for that. You know, it's meant, it's so much fun, but it's not for every song. You know, think about this Restraint. A great example that's another band is Slash's Restraint in Sweet Child of Mine. To just play, it's such a basic solo, but the power of one note here, which is actually two notes because we play two strings together, and this is the bent a little bit, which reminds me of Tenacious D, you know, that bit where they're like next song on the first album. I don't know why it made me think of that, but it's the same thing. But this one note, the so long, and then it slides up to the octave of that note, so we're still actually playing one note. And I'll just stick to that first of all, because this is a great thing for anyone at any level to have a go at doing. You can play over the original song, or you can use a looper pedal. So we have one note, play quiet, and then it's played louder. I'm going to add my flashback delay. Again, the power of one note. Again, Lindsey Buckingham plays that sort of thing so much better than me. I do not play exactly like him. His kind of phrasing is something that I come back to all the time as a reminder of just that. Power of one note with a bit of vibrato, bent vibrato as well. Superb to learn from. My final example is Landslide and the actual solo of this song, which is really melodic. I don't think I can do I'm going to see how I am with the copyright strike on this one, but if I just play the solo for you. So with the capo key, we're in the key of B flat. And we're in that kind of shape, which is basically, I have a tutorial on this that I've done before, but if we basically use 1, 2, 3, 4, we get this shape, which we can then reuse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the same shape repeated. And in a funny key, which B flat is, that's really handy. Just that melody over that, you know, this is a perfect thing where we're kind of using a blues lick there, but it's so major. You know, try playing over that with something that's minor pentatonic. It doesn't work, it needs to be major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will get you through that. And those would be my main takeaways from what we can learn from Lindsey Buckingham, and why I think he's really overrated, because he's actually serving the band, serving the song when it comes to his solos and lead playing in general. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear them. Let me know any other guitarists or artists you want me to check out and do a bit of a deep dive on, and I'll do it. Let me know in the comments below.